I am Cash. This is my 2017 Ford Transit. This is Quin, and we have been living in here for a year and a half now. Before we check out this bad boy, I want to thank Vanlife, our sponsor for this video. You can find safe overnight spots to park your van inside cities, kind of like Airbnb for parking. Super cool. Check them out. There's a link below. Welcome to this 2017 Ford Transit. I built it all myself. Let's get off with the tour. So here, got trash, recycling, blender, must-have Soylent for emergencies. That's my 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, and that powers the blender, my induction cooktop, flips up like that, and my toaster oven, which is probably my most used appliance actually. Here, pantry. Yeah, I've got bread, peanut butter, lots of bowls, all the utensils, and then this is the behind the scenes side. If you've lived in a van, you know what that is. Behind it is the gray water, just miscellaneous storage for things that I don't use a whole lot. Notice the gentle close on the soft close cabinet doors. And when I'm driving, boop, boop, boop. Stay in place, nothing comes out. And yeah, there's also a sink. Whoops. A little extra hidden storage there. This is all one piece of Makakauba live edge wood that I got from the local wood store in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I'm from. So cut this out. Fits perfectly for the sinkhole. It's cutting board. Yeah, running water. I've got like a SureFlow pump. I think it's like 2.5 gallons a minute, something like that. I don't remember. But so that, you know, the pump is connected to the 12 volt. Same with the lights, which, as you see, only 2 are on, because I have them in different sections, so I can turn on specific sections, which is really nice at night, so I can get like the perfect amount of light. So yeah, it's like not super obvious that there's somebody in here when only the back light is lit, and that's nice for privacy and just being stealth, which is a big priority of mine because I like to be able to park anywhere, sleep anywhere, pull off at the side of the road, and have someone not be sure if it's a camper van or a work van. I'm slowly losing my stealth status though, because I have a deck up there, which is kind of a giveaway, but I don't know, you might think that it's something work related. We'll come around back. Michigan, yo mate. If you see me, say yo. That's the inspiration behind the license plate. Mountain bike, with all the things that go along with mountain biking, helmet, bike bump, etc. This is my main mode of transportation outside of driving, and I try to use this as much as possible. I've actually, in a year and a half, I think I've put 8,000 miles on my van, considering I've come from Michigan and gone up and down the West Coast a few times now. It's pretty respectable, I think. Stand-up paddleboard, inflatable, nice backpack chair. It's got straps. The backpack, very handy. Just a little note about living in a van with a dog. It never stays clean for long. as you can see, we've got wood chips on the ground. Instantly, wood chips in the bed. Right, Quinn? Who's your good boy? Come here. Kiss. Oh, yeah. He is good at hunting flies, though, so, you know, pros and cons.
And warmth.
And warmth, yes, yes. Those blankets are not always required because just cuddle up with the dog. Heater, very rarely used at night because Quinn keeps me warm enough, even when I'm in like 30-degree nights. If I didn't have to think about Quinn's well-being, I would probably be a lot lazier, and I wouldn't have nearly as many awesome adventures out in like super remote areas where I feel comfortable having him just off leash, all my doors open, him running free. So it's, yeah, big benefit. This is a sunroof I installed. It's a CR Lawrence is the brand, and it's really nice because you can pop it up just like that, or you can unclip everything and take it all the way out, and it's a little escape hatch. And this is how I get onto my deck. Top side. So this is where I come do yoga, sunbathe, just hang out. Super nice. It's a Renogy 300-watt solar panel. I have to clean it pretty often here because there's a lot of pollen in the trees. So this is my freezer. It's a Dometic 95 liter, and it's on wheels. So when I'm driving, it goes in there, boom, and then I just lift up slightly, pull it out, and go all the way out to get to the freezer, which works. Frozen ice, I feel like that's a pretty big luxury for most vans. I work full-time while living in my van. I'm a software engineer, so I have a little workstation here in my swivel seat that spins around like that. The steering wheel gets in the way a little bit, so you have to kind of know exactly when to scooch it back, but it works well. This flips up. That's where I work. Get my laptop out, and I've got a little power outlet right here. So this is my workstation. I use my phone's hotspot with my cell signal booster, which that's what this guy is. Just put your phone. So I just use my normal phone hotspot. Boom, I can put it up next to my cell signal booster, and it adds about 2 bars, I would say, on average. So if I'm in a place that has no cell reception, a lot of times I can turn that on and get cell reception. I've got this little herb box. So I've got rosemary, lemon balm, and mint. So I use that for cooking, use this for drinks. Just add a little life to water. And also a regrowing bok choy over there. I love regrowing veggies. I just think it's super cool. You should too. So this is where I keep all of my clothes. Boom. Just got these little bins that I got at the Container Store, and they fit really nicely in here. Marie Kondo technique. Big fan of keeping things organized in a small space. Yeah, that's all of my clothes. And I also have like a lot of different little holes, so I tried to utilize as much space as possible by kind of building into those holes so I can, yeah, have extra storage. And the same thing on these sides, same thing with these 3, and the same thing in the doors. And this is a full-size bed. I'm 5'11", and I fit perfectly. Actually, I feel like you could probably be like 6 foot. This is the tallest option, so this is a high roof transit. So I think it's 9.5 feet outside, and I think you can be like 6'5" or so on the inside. I also have a very fast method of putting it up, just like that. Just put that up, I'm free to nap wherever I am. Like, I've napped in some really interesting spots, and I must tell you, I get the best sleep I've ever gotten sleeping in the strangest places, because sometimes you're driving and it hits you, and you just pull off at outside a bank or just like some random place, people walking by, but yeah, sleep really well. Ford Transit, as I was saying earlier, has many interesting nooks and crannies, one of them being the big curve to the roof. So when you have flat wood paneling, you got plenty of storage space up here. So I've got a suit, some nice dress shirts. I have never worn any of these, but I feel like it just adds better insulation, maybe. Which, by the way, I have 3M Thinsulate for insulation all around. Yeah, so so this is a Webasto gasoline heater. It taps into my gas tank, and it kicks out a lot of heat. That's how I stay warm. I've been in like negative 10-degree temperatures up in the mountains, and this place stays really toasty. It's pretty amazing. I've got it so I can spin it around, so point wherever I want. This is nice because then it points to the back where there's most of the insulation and it stays warmer. I think it's really important to live in your van a little bit before you make a lot of design decisions. Like for instance, I had my freshwater tank in here, which now it's just gray water, and I moved that out so I have better access to key storage space. I installed my sunroof and I had a leak and I was super distraught, but then I realized that the leak only comes from one spot in like the actual glass part of the sunroof because it's got a curve to it, and the curve of my van doesn't exactly match the curve of the glass. So now I have a rainwater catchment system, and when it rains a lot, I can water my plants, get Quin water, and yeah, it's actually really nice to be able to harvest rainwater. And what else? Oh, I have a vermicompost. So I was pretty distraught, once again, similar to the rain, similar to the leak. I was distraught that I was throwing away so much compost, so much great produce. So I just have a random container, and I will either bury this when I go out in the woods. I'll like dig a hole, bury it, natural composting, and I will also use my vermicompost, which I've been harvesting a lot because I've been planting stuff, but this is a vermicompost, and it was thriving for like the past like 3 months. So yeah, it's definitely possible to reduce your carbon. Definitely possible. First moved into my van, I was a little bit concerned about loneliness and spending so much time alone, like in the middle of nowhere, just me and my dog. But I think it's actually been a huge blessing. I journal a lot, read a lot of books. Shout out to Elika with Simple Taoism. Yeah, I have a lot of really good books. Man's Search for Meaning, also a really good one that I just read. And yeah, I find that living alone in such a small space allows you to really focus on what's most important to you, and enhances all of the experiences you have whenever you go back into, you know, normal society, like not living in the mountains sort of thing. And it really puts everything in perspective. Yeah, you know what your priorities are. And I write a little bit. I have a blog, thinknicely.com. It's my blog. So the reason why I like to live in a van is the freedom that it allows. Just everything's a lot simpler. I only have my possessions in my van to worry about. So anywhere I go, I have everything that I could ever want or need. And it just makes life simple, which I love. Big fan of minimalism and simplicity. And it allows me to follow my passions, whatever they may be, at whatever time that is. So like this past summer, I woofed, which WWOOF, and Workaway, 2 platforms where you can go work on farms and live there in beautiful farmland for free, or for work trade. So I got a lot of exposure to like organic farming and living sustainably, zero waste, all those hot buzzwords, sexy buzzwords I may say. And I've grown to think that it's a very luxurious way of life. You really don't need a big space to live, and I actually am more comfortable now living in my van than I am living in, say, my mom's house when I go back home to visit her. So yeah, less is more. Quinn and I want to thank you for checking out our home, Jan, the van. I built it myself. I'm very proud of it. Took a lot of work. Do not believe that it's as easy as it looks from watching YouTube videos, because that's what I did. And I spent thousands of hours building this bad boy. Thinking about how to build it is the hardest part. So definitely draw sketches, think about it a lot, and best of luck.